Hi everyone, this is Ash. And this morning I had a nice conversation with a friend who is struggling with schizophrenia. And she asked me a question. Am I ill? Am I mentally ill for a lifetime? Or is this a psychological condition? This was a very good question which I had asked myself too, and my answers and my exploration had led to some real good breakthroughs. Now it is a psychiatric condition. First of all, medicines are important. They control your symptoms, they balance things in terms of chemicals in your brain, the shortage of chemicals, the imbalance of chemicals. So that part is there. Accept it. Don't fight it. Don't try to heal or cure yourself without medicines. Medicines play a very important role, but medicines don't cure. So that's what I want to talk about psychiatry and the psychological approach. Now, that's one thing. Think of it like this: you have strong symptoms for a period, and this is what we call psychotic episodes. It's not a lifetime continued. For some people, it can be chronic and can be lasting very long, but severe psychotic episodes where you have symptoms of voices, seeing things, feeling things, touch, all your senses hacked and twisted in your head, your experience bringing up false beliefs, and when they are very strong, it's called an episode. It lasts for a time. For some people, it lasts very long. Like for me, initial years, it lasted really long. So it seemed like this would be a life term of a sentence. But no. What I did was, I took my medicines and rested during the storm of episodes. Now it's important to understand you have to stay rooted and rest and take your meds during a psychotic storm. I like to call it a psychotic storm. When the storm subsides, the symptoms are less, you've rested enough, and your symptoms are mild, is when you can reflect back on what happened, why it happened, and it's healthy to do so. Now, doctors may say, don't pay mind to that, just take your medicine and get on with your life. It doesn't work that way. It didn't work for me to do that. I had to question, I had to use my inner intelligence, my logic to make sense of my experience. Why me? Why was it happening to me? What could be the rational thinking behind what was happening? So when I did that, interestingly, the sense I made in my own way of what was going on and why it was happening created something interesting. Now, instead of having a long episode, I would have short episodes because of medicine and rest. And there would be like one episode, two episode, three episode, and there are gaps in between. The amount of rest I put in during the psychotic episode and the meds I take played an important role in the length of the episode. So it would shorten. Not only that, the psychological reflection within me, my logic belt running, trying to question things, trying to do was this A, was this B, was this A plus B, or something like that, which would not make sense to anybody else. It was a very personal thing, trying to connect the dots and make sense of the whole phenomena. Now, what happened was between the episodes, the gaps started increasing, which means I had longer and longer period of no psychotic episode. Not only that, with my psychological uh, explanation of what was happening, my mind was at a rest. Now, I believe that our mind is always in panic when it cannot make sense of something that's happening to us in life. So, when you try to make sense of the whole thing, it gives your mind rest. and you have a point of reference to look at your experience. So the gaps between the episodes started to increase. So one episode shortened, and then there would be long period of no episode. Doesn't mean I don't take my meds. My meds were reduced from a couple of meds that I was taking. It was reduced to one pill, which was okay to take in order to maintain that period of no psychotic episode. And I'm still on it. I'm still on that maintenance drug. So I have longer, it's been years now, I don't have psychosis, and I'm able to, and I believe it has a lot to do, one, with the maintenance pill that I take, second, the logical sense that my mind has made of schizophrenia. So it's at rest. It knows, like, okay, this is happening, this is why it's happening, I need to rest, and then I need to just live my life through it. And during the period of no psychosis, the gap between two psychoses, which goes on increasing, which means you can have longer and longer periods of no psychosis, is the time when you can come back to life. You can try to work, you can pursue hobbies, you will struggle, you will fall, you will fail, you will be discouraged, because it's like a storm that affects your self-esteem. And but don't give up. I would say it's very healthy to use your logic. Don't listen to the world. It's your life, your experience, your inner world that has experienced psychosis. So your mind, if it wants to explore why it happened and a logical sense of it, you won't find it on Google. You won't find it on the internet. It's within you. You have to make sense of it with your intelligence. You can read stuff. I read Carl Jung. I read Simon Freud. I tried to take pieces from their works and try to make sense of it, and it all made sense. And now I find peace in my experience. And I'm fine. I'm working and I'm living a normal life, because my mind is at rest. It knows, okay, schizophrenia is this, I have this is what I experience. So a big part of my consciousness is at rest. It knows, okay, this is happening. It is not in a panic world, like, is it black magic, is it this, is it that. There's no more panic. So my rational mind has put everything into place and made its own sense of the experience. At the same time, I balance out my sober days, my clean days, my non psychotic days with the medicine that I must take to keep the chemical balance. No harm. I assure you, you can overcome your impossible challenges that may seem like right now, but it's not impossible. I did it, so can you. All the best.